5 retirement pros and cons. Number 1, pros. You can set your own schedule. You can do anything you want when you're retired, right? You can set your own schedule. You can wake up at noon. You can wake up at 6 a.m. You can go to bed at 6 p.m. Well, maybe not that early. You could go to bed at 3. Whatever. You can set your own schedule. Anything you want to do. It's awesome. No more alarm clocks. I set it once every couple of weeks if I have something I really need to do, but other than that, woo! Anything you want to do. The first retirement con, loneliness. That affects a lot of people, especially if they live alone and they're retired. You've got all those hours in the day. What are you going to do? If you have stuff that'll keep you busy, that does help. But do you have loved ones that you live near? Do you have a lot of friends in your area? Do you have senior activities you can do? Loneliness, it's a big thing in retirement, or it can be if you don't have it aligned the way you want. If you don't have things that you like to do every day. Activities that keep you healthy, positive. If you're suffering from that, there are ways to get around that. Go out, experience different things. Reach out to different retirement groups. They're all out there. You can do it. You can do it. The second pro, so much less stress when you're retired. I remember it took me a couple weeks to kind of unwind and get into the retirement thing. But once I did, my stress level was so low, and it's remained low. It goes up and down depending on things that happen in your life. But for the most part, it's great. So much less stress. I feel so much better, sleep, health-wise, everything. The second con in retirement. And this, you'd think that, you've saved up all your life for this, and you get there and you're like, I'm good. But in this economy, you're worrying about running out of money. Unless you have a pretty huge nest egg, you're worrying about running out of money. That's something, I kind of knew about going into retirement, but you try not to let it be a day-by-day thing. But, depending on what you read on the news and all that other kind of stuff you see out there, it can be a worry. So if that's happening to you, consider getting something part-time. Consider getting an online gig. Consider whatever you can to just bring a little income coming in, and that always helps. The third pro of retiring, and this is huge. For me, this has been great. As I said in other videos, I'm a writer of thriller novels, trying to get those out. It gives you time to chase your dreams. Anything you've been thinking about when you were still employed, you've got all the time in the world now to chase your dreams. Anything you want to do, go out there. Maybe it'll make you some money. If not, who cares? You're doing what you want to do. You're chasing your dreams. You might have had a little time before when you were employed, but not that much, right? I remember when I was writing my last novel, I had to be at work every day at 6:30 or so in the morning. I would get up an hour early and write a page or so a day before I went to work. Now, sometimes I do that when I get home too, depending if I was too tired or not. But it took me a long time to write that book. But there's even ways before you retire that you can squeeze it in there if you're dedicated, if you're diligent. So I would do that every morning before work. I would make sure I got my page. If it was a good day, I might have a couple pages. And then I start my working day. But when you're retired, you got all the time in the world to just chase your dreams. The third con of retirement. And for the most part, this isn't too bad. But if people come to depend on you for this, it's like, hey, you got time, come and help me. I need help doing this, I need help doing that. Hey, you know what, you're retired, you got plenty of time. Oh, and oh my God, if you have a truck, luckily I don't, but if you have a truck, it makes it even worse. Hey, you got a truck, man, look, can you help me move this to this? Sure, once in a while it's fine, but if they come to rely on you to do that all the time, yeah, I guess it's not a big con, but still, it can be. Especially if you got a truck. Don't get a truck, guys. Don't get a truck. The fourth pro of retirement, you've got all the time in the world to spend with your family and friends. All the time in the world, you know. Hey, if you want to go out and see your brother that you haven't seen in a while and spend a week with him, drive out and do it. Or hop in a plane, whatever. You have nothing to come back to. You can do it. You got all the time in the world to visit family, visit friends, and it could make those relationships so much more meaningful, you know? Whereas before, it might be an occasional call, you know, well, lots of texts maybe, but how personal is that? If you can have time to spend with them, which you do in retirement, it can just be so much more personal, so much more meaningful. The fourth con, and I mentioned this in another video, some of you may have had, you know, good friends, or you thought were good friends as coworkers. You lose touch with those people. You just do. It's just what happens over time. And again, I mentioned this in another video, but it's important to realize that, guys, when you're going into it, if a lot of your friends are developed through work, and if they're still working, it's inevitable that you're going to lose touch with them over time. Now, it doesn't have to be for a malicious reason, you know. I mean, it's just you're not in the same environment they are. They don't have as much time as you do. So, you know, if you want to get together for drinks on, like, I don't know, a Wednesday night, you might not be able to do that, right? So, yeah, that's a con of retirement. But eventually you get over that. You make new friends, right? You make new friends. The fifth pro of retirement, you can travel whenever you want, as often as you want. Depending on your finances, of course, you know, it might be kind of limited, but hey, the world's your oyster. Do you like oysters? No, not me. Never had them that much. But anyway, you get what I mean. You can travel whenever you want. You know, just go for a quick, like, 3-day road trip someplace, you know. I mean, I'm going to be going up to Mammoth Mountain in a while, just for like 2-3 days, just to see all those, you know, feet and feet of snow on the ground. So you go for 3 days, you come back. All right, yeah, I'll do what I'm doing here, and then maybe I can go and do another quick road trip, you know? I love that. I just love the feeling of being open to anything and everything that you can ever want to do. The fifth and last con of retirement, you have no purpose. What is your purpose in retirement? Some people don't need a purpose. Some people had enough of that throughout their whole career. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to relax. Okay, that's great. But if you get, like, say 6 months, a year into retirement, after you've done all the relaxing you're going to do until your butt's going to fall off from sitting on the couch, what's your purpose? Again, some people don't need it, but a lot of people do. Do you want to, you know, spend time doing things for charity? Do you want to volunteer? Do you have things you want to do that will give meaning to your life? You know, will it be helping others? Will it be just starting up a new business or something? You know, whatever it is. That's a big con for some people in retirement, a lack of purpose. Now, you know, you can get over that. All 5 of these cons you can get over. You know, it's just a means of realizing it before you get into retirement, that it's not going to all just be, you know, wine and roses. There are some cons to retirement. The biggest thing, I think, is just realizing that they are there so you can think about them beforehand, so you can make kind of a plan for yourself when you go into retirement. Okay? Like, look at me. I become Mr. Artsy Fartsy here with my cactus garden. Who knew? I had no idea. Now, is it good or not? I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. Anyway, guys, those are the 5 pros and cons of retirement that I've come up with so far in my 1.5 years of early retirement. If you have others that you can think of, please leave me comments. Again, we're getting so many good comments on this channel. It's amazing. So leave me comments on other stuff you can think about, and not just that, but anything in general. And, you know, if I like it, if I think it's a really good topic, I'll make a video of it. All right? So anyway, guys, hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, hey, we can do anything we set our mind to. In retirement, out of retirement, whatever, guys. Just remember, we got this.